Good afternoon, I'm Malia Bryant with the Midday News. Special welcome to our viewers on YouTube, TVJ International in the Cayman Islands, and online at onespotmedia.com. Here's what we have in the bulletin. Auditor General launches probe into Transport Ministry's acquisition of rural school buses. Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association reacts to budgets. And later in sports, Mount Pleasant set to battle LA Galaxy in CONCACAF Champions Cup. Thank you for joining us. Now the details. Auditor General Pamela Monroe Ellis has initiated a probe into the Ministry of Transport's acquisition of 110 used school buses amid public concerns over the procurement process. The buses were imported at a cost of $1.4 billion from the United States under the government's National Rural School Bus Program ahead of the reopening of schools for the 2025-26 academic year. In a statement on the Auditor General's Department website, Mrs. Monroe Ellis said the audit is in response to numerous stakeholder representations to its offices and media reports regarding the acquisition of the 110 school buses. She says a preliminary assessment was undertaken to evaluate the credibility of the claims and to determine whether there was sufficient justification to initiate a formal audit. In the meantime, questions have been raised about some of the operational aspects of the rural bus program and the cost on the public purse. The issue was discussed at this morning's Public Administration and Appropriation Committee, PAC.
You're saying there's a division within the JUTC that operates the school bus program or the rural school bus program as discrete from the regular JUTC operations.
That is correct, Chair. It's a depot.
A depot, yes. and a discrete staffing allocation.
That is correct.
Do you have broken out the financials for that discrete division?
For the salaries and wages of drivers, it is $630,415,032. For traffic, $50,465,650. Maintenance, $7,143,014. Driver incentive, $4,048,000. Other related cost, $114,697,641. And you'd see a total of $871,065,116 for the rural school bus program.
The Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, JMEA, says greater focus should have been placed on the growth agenda for the country during yesterday's budget presentation by Finance Minister Fable Williams. The Finance Minister says the projections are to return to 1 to 2% growth this fiscal year. Now, Deputy President of the JMEA, Cecile Foster, says the group was looking to hear how the minister plans to grow the economy following setbacks caused by Hurricane Melissa.
We have not seen a growth plan. I too have not seen the details of how some of these points that are placed in the budget will be executed, and the growth plan is a concern for us. We have almost 600 members in the JMEA. A lot of them, maybe 40% or a little more, fall in the category of SME, and they need mobility of capital. They need to have, we all need it, but they need to have a churning taking place in their sphere in order for them to keep driving the engine of the country.
And that's Deputy President Cecil Foster. To other news, over 100,000 assessments have been successfully completed post-Hurricane Melissa under the government's ROOF program. Now speaking at Wednesday's post-cabinet press briefing, Labour Minister Pernell Charles Jr. provided an update on the next step.
They do the assessment. It goes then to be verified to ensure that the information is accurate, to ensure that we can reduce the duplications, and to make sure that the persons who are to get are the persons who are on our list. Then we notify you that you're on the assessment list that has been approved. We set up whether it is for you to be, brought into one of our ceremonies or for you to receive the information straight to your phone. And thereafter, once you receive that interaction from the ministry, you go out and you collect.
As for persons under the categories of major or severe damage, a QR code or a WhatsApp message will be sent. However, in the event persons are without internet connectivity,
if you don't get the QR code, you get a text message with some information in it. Don't delete the text. You carry that to the merchant. They will know what to do. All of the merchants that have been selected and onboarded by our provider, they have a special equipment that will connect with what you provide, and only you can do so.
the debate continues over the government's decision to end its 50-year partnership with Cuban medical personnel in Jamaica. Human rights group Stand Up for Jamaica is urging the government to provide greater clarity about the events that led to the withdrawal.
It is something which sounds bizarre, because if there is something which Jamaica requires, is fine. It needs to be respected, it needs to be implemented. My question is, why not to sit around the table, look at the requirement and verify how some changes can be made, instead of just to say, after tomorrow I send you back home. Is a big damage for both sides.
The group's executive director, Carla Golata, says the decision also raises uncomfortable geopolitical questions.
The aggressive political arena, which is the way how Trump deals with other countries, because it's not only Jamaica, it's the full CARICOM. Yesterday on the CNN, he was saying, I have only 5 words to say, Cuba will become America under our control. That is also a situation which is starving Cuba. I think we all know about what happened in Gaza and is still happening in Gaza. And now we have another front of war.
6 persons are now homeless after a fire destroyed their dwelling in Pondside, St. Thomas on Monday. The fire started sometime after 7 a.m. Now residents reportedly saw smoke coming from the house and alerted the occupants. The fire victims say they lost everything, including cash.
My grandson to come, my mother just said that when I told her that I'm going to buy a brown shoes since our teacher said, I can't wear black again. So I can come home early this evening, that's me and him got told to buy the shoes.